up guys, it's Nick and today we are going to have a real talk about credit cards. If you're in a situation right now where you're either thinking about kailangan ko ba talaga ng credit card, or second, credit cards are the devil because ang dami ko ngayong utang, I feel like this video would help you guys out. I have my own credit card for a few years now and I've really learned a lot. And the thing with credit cards is that they are your best friends, but they could also be your backstabbing friend, because we've all experienced that once in a lifetime. Well, I've had my share of those backstabbing people. You know, we want credit cards to be our best friends that we can rely on, that will help us in times of need. With that, I'm gonna share with you guys basic 3 things that I wish I knew about credit cards before getting into it, and I hope it somehow, you know, gives you some enlightenment in terms of why it's actually good to have your own credit card. But before anything else, don't forget to subscribe down below. There's a really big red button that you should click right now, and if you like these types of videos, the thumbs up button would be really helpful if you click on that as well. I'll shut up now and let's get on to the video. Tip number 1 is kind of common sense, but then sometimes people get tricked. They get tricked by credit cards. And number 1 is that always pay in full. So don't even think about that very small minimum amount. Don't even look at that. Don't even focus on that small thing that says minimum amount due. Wag mong tingnan yon. Joke time yon. Maluloko ka doon. Yung kala mo good for you eh. Yun yung friend mo na kala mo parang close tayo, tight tayo, biglang before you know it, siniraan ka na pala behind your back, pero mabait siya sa harap mo. No, do not pay the minimum amount. Just pay in full at your due date. So usually in your billing statement, it says there the time, let's say your time to pay is at the end of the month. Just pay the exact amount at the end of the month. Don't think of paying just half or like just the minimum amount, because what will happen is that there will be interest in the next month. So magkakaroon ng added amount for your next billing. So ibig sabihin, yung minimum amount na yon, hindi ibig sabihin nun libre yung other things na hindi mo pa nababayaran. Ibig sabihin nun, you will have interest in your next monthly billing, and we don't want extra things that we will pay for when in fact you should have just paid the full amount. If you're someone like me who I was really confused at the start in terms of cutoff, what does cutoff mean? So my cutoff my cutoff date is on the 9th. So ibig sabihin nun, I use my credit card before the 9th. Ibig sabihin, I will pay all of those things at the end of the month. So let's say September, say I spent on September 8, ibig sabihin I will pay that on September 30, for example. But if I use my credit card September 10, that means that I will pay that amount on the following month, which is end of October. You have to be strategic in that sense also, wherein if your cutoff is on the 9th and you're going to spend a lot, you better just buy it on like September 10, September 11, just to make sure that it will fall on your next billing date, wherein you will pay it on the end of October instead. If you want to spread out your expenses, that's a good way of looking at it. Look at your cutoff date and always pay in full. Panindigan mo yan, sinwipe mo, ginusto mo yun at that moment, bayaran mo, girl. Second thing that I wish I knew, that I only realized once I started having a credit card, is that installments are freaking amazing. Okay, so imagine, say, you wanted to buy headphones. And the headphones cost 10,000 pesos. If you don't have a credit card, you better have 10,000 pesos cash or 10,000 in your debit card, ATM card, so that you could pay for that headphones. But the good thing about installments and with using your credit card because of that, you could have buy now, pay later. You could have it installed in 3 months, 6 months. So, real story here, when I bought my Marshall headphones before in SM, they had this thing wherein you could buy now and pay later. And the pay later is you pay that in 6 months. So, say it's worth 10,000 and you pay that in 6 months. So, if I'm going to just get my calculator right here. So, if it's 10,000 divided by 6 months, so I'm only going to pay 1,666 pesos per month in the next 6 months. It will help me spread out my expenses. I won't need to shell out 10,000 cash right then and there. It's usually 0% interest and you could pay it in 6 months, 12 months. I've done that with like the camera lens and things like that. But also, of course, you have to be mindful in terms of installments. Baka naman i-installment mo lahat ng mga bagay mo sa buhay. Pag nag-add up yun every month, malaking amount rin siya. So, I have an Excel sheet reminding me, let's say, I have this certain thing for 6 months, I have this certain thing for 3 months lang. So I know like, okay, within this month, girl, parang tatlo na installments mo, so kalma. The third thing that I wish I knew that is very beneficial actually, that I also tell people who are leaning into, why do I need a credit card? Malulubog lang ako sa utang niya, lalaki lang yung debt ko, baka masyado akong ma-excite. But if you are really wise about using your credit card, like I mentioned, which is as easy as just paying it in full on your due date and just looking at your billing statement, monitoring your expenses there, and second is using it for installments. Also taking note of the installments that you do with your credit card. If you take note of those two things, the third thing that you're going to realize is that you actually need a credit card for good credit standing. So why do you need good credit standing? It's because what my dad told me, my dad who's also like my financial advisor, he said that if you have good credit standing, it will be easy for you in the future to ask for a loan. Say for example, when you want to buy a house, you want to buy a property, or like you want to have a business, you want to eventually get a loan from the bank. For them to allow you to borrow or get a loan from the bank, they need to check ano ba yung history mo, magaling ka ba magbayad. So for them to see that is they're going to look at your credit card history. How good are you in paying your bills? And if they see, let's say for the past 4 years, for the past 5 years, for the past 10 years, you've been paying your credit card on time, in full, wala kang utang, then if they see that you are a good payer to the bank with your credit card, then they're going to most likely grant you that request. That's also something I learned because my boyfriend works in home loans in the bank, so he's able to share that also, that when you are going to apply for a loan, of course they can just be like, here's 5 million, here's 10 million, go, like spend that all. Of course they have to check, are you able to follow through paying that loan in 10 years time, in 5 years time. So when you have a credit card, they will be able to check and see that you have good credit standing, and they will allow you to get a loan. I know this is kind of like heavy like topic, but then you know, these are things that we need to talk about. Like especially in the Philippines, we're so like jaded with credit cards na parang, oh my gosh, ayoko mag-credit card, malulubog ako sa utang, things like that. And especially people my age, you know, in early 20s, that's when we start thinking about having our own credit card. And to be honest, for me, it has been an amazing decision for me that I have started having my own credit card. Not only did it help me with managing my expenses, it made me a more responsible adult because, you know, you need to pay your bills. Like, no matter what, paglaki mo, magbabayad at magbabayad ka ng mga bagay na kailangan mong bayaran. You know, through time, you'll realize that as you become responsible using your credit card, there are a lot of benefits that come with it. So don't look at the negative. The negative na malulubog ka sa utang and you're gonna get carried away using your credit card. That will only happen if you're mindlessly buying and just swiping your card. But if you use it wisely, it becomes your best friend and not that two-faced bee that we don't want in our life. So yeah, those are all the 3 things. I hope you guys learned something. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!